All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining me here today on the Red Pill Investor, as well as here on Sell More Homes Now on YouTube. Today, I'm going to do a very brief prospecting session. I'm going to go ahead and make a few calls here just so I can keep my promise with you, so I can stay accountable to you. I promised you that I would contact people that I would be prospecting, that I would go ahead and do it right here live in front of you. Also, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and cover. Pardon me about that. We're going to cover a few things, stories here that I found today that I thought you would find helpful. So we're going to go ahead and be sure to cover those as well. So if you've got a moment, if you've got, I don't know, maybe 20, 30 minutes, maybe even 40, I would say at the most, to sit here and prospect with me and listen to a little bit of what I have to tell you, then I think I've got some things that are going to be very helpful for you in your business today that will be a blessing to you. Also, if you're here in the Tucson area listening, thank you so much. I know many realtors here in Tucson have told me that they've listened to the podcast or saw me on YouTube, and I am very grateful for you all. Thank you very much for sharing this podcast as well as your good thoughts with me if you're here in the local area. Also, if you're brand new to me, local in the area, please remember that I also do buy and sell properties myself. I'm also a real estate investor as well as a real estate broker. So keep me in mind if you've got anything local here in the Tucson area you think that I could help you with. Additionally, if you're new, I would recommend that you go ahead and subscribe and hit the notify button, as well as on the Red Pill Investor podcast, because I do go ahead and take these podcasts, take the videos, and I will go ahead and share them on both sites. And sometimes you'll get some content from one that you may not get from the other. Sell More Homes Now is designed more for realtors who invest, and the Red Pill Investor is just a podcast designed to teach sales skills to homes, real estate investors and realtors who are in the process of learning how to get more business. So before my appointment today, let's go ahead and jump into a quick prayer. We'll press start on the dialer, and then we will get started. So, Lord, thank you so much. God, we are so grateful, Father, for this day, for this blessings, for all the great things you've done. Lord, we are grateful for the health that we have, for our families. Lord, it's just a wonderful time for us to go out and spread the good news that you've given us to help our communities, to make them stronger. Lord, help us to use our skills in such a way that would bring glory to your name, that we would do things that would help our community and not hurt it, help our friends and not hurt them, and bring glory to your name and not shame. Lord, we ask these in Jesus' holy name. Amen. Okay, let's get started by pressing dial. Bam. All right, so no further delay. If you have not done so already, I'm going to recommend you.
Call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system. 5, 2,
I'm going to recommend
0, 9,
if you have not.
7, 7.
It helps if you turn the pen on. There we go. Boom. Okay.
You have reached the Udall Law Firm. Our normal business hours are 8:30 a.m. to 5 o'clock p.m. Monday.
All right. So anyway, if you have not done so already, I would highly recommend that you use the little link that I'm going to put down in the comment section down there for you. It'll save you $149 if you choose to go ahead and use the TheRedX dialer. They've got a lot of good systems over there that you will certainly want to check out. All of the expires, the for rent by owners, the for sale by owners, the pre-foreclosures that we call, all the things that you hear me calling are data straight from them. And I'll tell you, it is exceptional service. I would highly recommend you talk to those folks over there, because they are very, very good folks to talk to. So let's just go ahead and jump into the news. Now, you might be asking yourself, if you've been following along in the podcast, or here on Sell More Homes Now, that we've been talking about how the market for the last 7 years has been doing this incremental increase. It's been going up and up and up and up and up for the last 7 years. And the amount of the increase, right? The first year, it went up quite a bit. Second year, went up pretty good. Third, And so you got this amount of time where home values have started to go up, but over the last, I don't know, probably 18.
Hello?
Hi, this is Colonel Krenzel. How are you today? There we go. So anyway, for the last, 2 years, I'd say, you'd notice that the amount of homes that, let's see, there we go. The amount that the homes have gone up in terms of sales price has still gone up, but it's not really gone up quite as much. And then actually in the first quarter of 2019, the average sales price actually kind of went down a little bit. It was the first time it actually went down. At the same time, we're noticing that the national, that was from the National Association of Realtors. The other statistic we notice is that Zillow has said that 33 of the 35 markets that they watch, that they kind of keep an eye over, have actually gone down in value. One of them has remained stable and one of them has gone up. So you got 35 markets that Zillow keeps an eye on. And out of those 35, 33 have gone down, right? First quarter of the year, down. That was according to the Realtors Association. Then we also talked about just recently, a few days ago, about how the amount of homes in the first quarter of 2019 that were flipped was the most amount that we've had in 7 years. As a matter of fact, it was 49,040 homes nationwide that were flipped in the first quarter of 2019. That represented a 7%, like seven, I want to say 7.4. I'm not 100% certain. You'd have to go back to the podcast and listen, but it was something to the respect of about a 7% of the market. 7% of the homes that had flipped were sold to investors. And for many of us who are listening to the podcast or listening to the Sell More Homes Now on YouTube, many of us are investors. Many of us are realtors who invest, and we can see in the market you're in, the market starting to kind of go up and then it's starting to pool a little bit. It's not as if the market is bad. No, it's not. Don't misunderstand. The market's not bad by any means. It's just taking longer for homes to sell. Now, certainly, maybe you're in like
2066.
Maybe you're in an area like Tucson, for example. Tucson is an area much like many other parts of the country, I suspect. If you've got a really nice home and you price it right, well, it's going to sell relatively quickly. I mean, you're not going to have to spend months on end. But even if you have a really nice home and you price it competitively, it's not uncommon for your home to spend weeks, maybe months on end. And God forbid, if you're one of these people who's got your home on the market and it didn't sell, and then your home expired, you put it on the market with somebody else and it didn't sell then, and now you've been on the market with extensive days on market, you've got a little bit of a challenge to yourself now. And many places across the country are finding themselves in this scenario. And us as realtors, us as investors, us as practitioners in the market are saying to ourselves, okay, what is causing this? Back in the day, all right, back in 2005, 6, 7, 8, up until the great, quote unquote, Great Recession, right? Up until that point, everybody had been going out buying a lot of these properties and speculating on it and waiting for the values to go up. And that's how they made their money. And many times that's how people got caught. Liar's loans, things of that nature certainly didn't hurt or help, but that's a lot of what was going on. And nowadays, you see a lot of people going out and getting hard money loans and
I'm sorry, but the person you called has a voicemail box that has not been set up yet. Goodbye.
Hard money loans, right? Let's just go ahead and skip this one off. There we go. Boom. Hard money loans, interest rates that are a little bit higher, and it's could be setting yourself up for some problems if you have a delay in the market. If you have time on the market, that could be problematic if you're spending 13, 14% interest rates, right? Or more. So what's causing these homes to stay on the market longer? What's causing these prices to go up? Well, I got a report here from seekingalpha.com. It's a website devoted to stock markets here. It's from the internet, essentially, so you can trust it. But basically what their summary is simply this, that the utility and real estate equity prices are being driven higher by non-equity related factors, and these areas are getting overcrowded. Okay, so when you think about it, all right, from a trade risk. All right, these are people who are looking at the stock market from the interest perspective, right? How much money can I make on the return on interest from the stock market? And what they're essentially saying is that people, real estate sectors, it says their view, real estate sectors are overvalued and due for a pullback. Investors were driven to these names due to their safe haven, income generating image amongst many macroeconomic risks and falling interest rates. We believe that these assets are inferior.
Has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system.
Hang on a minute.
5203047.
All right, boom. Says that we feel, where is it? Yeah, we believe that these assets are inferior to secular growth names from a fundamental point of view. Now, when you think about it, what they're referring to when they're saying the names is utilities and real estate sectors. If you're going to be in real estate if you're going to be an investor.
Hi, I'm sorry I can't get to the phone right now. Please leave a message and I'll call you back. Thank you.
You know, if you're going to be an investor, you could invest in the stock market, you could invest in utilities, you could invest in real estate. And what they're simply saying is, from their perspective, okay, real estate investing is becoming overinflated. Now, utilities is another issue. I don't know anything about utilities, so I certainly couldn't speak to that. But when it comes to real estate, I think we can all start to get this uneasy feeling. Maybe we've been here before. I mean, if you've been in the market for a long time, if you've been in the business for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 30, 40, you recognize how these cycles come and go. You recognize how these things happen.
Call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging.
So when you think about it, okay, when you think about it, people from the investment cycle or side of things are saying, look, real estate is becoming overinflated because of macroeconomic reasons. Here's what they're saying. So-called safe equities are reaching unsustainable growths, right? These so-called safe equities like utilities, real estate, those are the things that you can always count. They're going to be stable. They're going to raise in your money. And they're saying not so stable anymore. And the reason why that they're becoming unstable is because many people have always pictured them as stable. And when you have macroeconomic factors that are happening, then people tend to, be wary of stocks.
2064.
And sometimes put their money into things that are perceived as safer, like real estate or utilities. So, what are some of the things that they're saying are macro risks that are driving this? Well, they're saying, the list of risks to global growth and stability sounds like an end of a drug commercial, right? That's a nice little way to put it. They put down China's growth slowdown. That's one. China's growth is slowing down. That's true. As a matter of fact, I want to say they bought $3 billion. I think it was $3 billion worth of property here in the United States alone. Chinese investors. Now, if they're having a growth slowdown in China and they're buying $3 billion worth of property here in America, maybe that's going to have an effect on you. Now, here in Tucson, it's not like it's not like I have a ton of clients that are Chinese nationals. No, but maybe if you're in San Francisco and you're selling commercial real estate and you're dealing with people in Little China, maybe that's a factor for you. I don't know. Another thing that they put down is U.S. deteriorating data and persistently soft inflation. There is some truth. The market is doing well, okay, but there is inflation to some extent. It's not exactly rocketing up, but it is still something to be concerned about. Trade disputes with China, border. Hi, this is Carl. How you doing?
This is who?
My name is Carl. I was looking for Elaine Wissinger. Is this Miss Wissinger?
Yes. Can I help you?
Yes, ma'am. My name's Carl Krenzel. How are you today?
All right. And I'm really short of time.
Oh, well, I'll be very brief then. I was calling about your property at 4080 Playa de Coronado. is that property still for sale?
I have, if this is soliciting, I don't accept solicitors.
Well, that's good.
I already have an agent.
That's good because I'm not soliciting it. I was actually just calling to see if it was still for sale. And you said it's with an agent. Is it on the MLS?
Yes, it is.
Perfect. I'll look it right up.
It's coming. We're finishing up the final improvements. It should be up, I think, this week.
Oh, okay. Great. Okay, perfect. All right. That's all I needed to know. All right. Well, you have a wonderful day, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Okay. Boom. There we go. So let's see. Trade disputes with China, a broader technology war, border disputes with Mexico, auto tariffs in Europe, crises in Argentina, Turkey, tensions with Iran, fiscal discipline in Italy, lackadaisical recovery in Europe, and the list goes on and on and on. You know, that's absolutely right. I mean, those are all pressing problems that are facing our global economy. And the things that happen in the global economy do affect America. That I will agree, right? If you have tensions with Iran, you can see how that affects people in the gas pump. Hello?
Please leave your message for 52044.
Yeah, people will have problems at the gas pump. You know, if they're concerned about warfare, or they're sending their kids off to the army or something, that could be a problem, right? Now it's true. British, problem with the EU certainly is an issue for some, not maybe an American, but it certainly is an issue. It says that global central banks are responding to these events by adopting unconventional stimulatory measures. We've seen that.
Call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system. 520.
Yeah, I've already talked to that one. I think, yeah. Right, boom. Said that with the Fed and the ECB signaling easing and all major banks at low to negative rates, there's a dearth of safe income generating assets. You know, when the Fed starts dropping rates, the interest rates start getting, near zero. It's effectively negative in Europe. It's near zero in Japan. It's 0.75% in the UK. It's dipped below 2% in the United States. These low interest rates have been really the problem with this current cycle because investors with a low risk appetite, are looking for alternatives. You know, if they're looking at their interest rates are not making that much money, it's a safe bet with a T-bill or whatever, but it's just not making that much. Well, then they're going to take the money out of that and then they're going to put it into something that's going to make a little bit more money, real estate, which they perceive as safe. And now, what you're starting to see is people taking their money out of now. Yes, it's true. The market in the United States is rocketing up and has been for quite some time. This has been going on, but there are still people taking
Please leave your message for
money that they might have otherwise put into the stock market, and instead of putting it into the stock market or T-bills or something safe or utility, instead of doing that, they're putting it into real estate. And here we are also with for example, in America, you can take a 401k many times and use that in a self-directed IRA in an investment portfolio. We do that all the time. Is it really that hard to see how other people would do the same thing, especially in the United States? If you've got 365 million Americans, I mean, if you figure a third of them can invest in some way in real estate, that's well over 100 million investors or potential people who could invest in the United States. Now, does that mean everybody's going to do it? No, of course not. But you can quickly see how people who are investment minded, if the rates are going down and people are trying to offset risk in, these other places, tensions in Iran or the EU or, whatever, by lowering their interest rates, well, then the people who are, supporting that, they're going to take their money and move it other places like real estate. And that's why you're seeing real estate in many places starting to get a little bit higher than maybe you might have expected. When you think about this, you got to ask yourself, is this something that is sustainable?
Now,
I can't answer that question where you are because I don't know your marketplace. I mean, you certainly do. So ask yourself. I mean,
has been forwarded to an automated.
I think you owe yourself, if you ask me, you owe yourself and your customers a moment, okay, for you to just go down, take a quick look at your multiple listing service, at your hot sheet, take a look at a couple factors. Take a look at your absorption rate. Right? How long is it taking for properties on average to get sold? You know, but from the time that they come on the market to the time that they actually get a contract and actually close, the absorption rate, how many properties, how many properties do you have on the market? And how long would it take for you if you didn't take any other listings in your market? How long would it take for you to sell through all the listings you currently have in your marketplace? Generally, you're going to find that an absorption rate, that's what that is. I mean, if you stop taking all the listings and there was no more homes for sale and you had X amount of homes for sale, how long would it take you to go through all those homes? That's the absorption rate, right? If it take you 3 months, well, then if the absorption rate would take 3 months, if you got, let's say, 6,000 homes on your marketplace and you have an average of 2,000 sell per month and nobody put another home on the market, when you got 6,000 homes, it's going to take you 3 months, right, to go through all of them. If that's the case, and let's say your marketplace, because of its situation, maybe you're in LA County or Crenshaw or I don't know, some of these hotter places, and you've got a days on market that is less than 30 days, you got an absorption rate that's 30 days or 45 days is some abnormally short number, well, then you know that you're in a fire market. That's one thing. But if you're in another market, let's say, and you're looking at the same figures and it's taking you, 4, 5, 6 months to sell inventory worth of inventory, that doesn't necessarily mean you're in a slow market. It does mean that you're starting to be in a changing market, however. And this is where the important part comes, because if other people are starting to invest because of these equities, because they see real estate as a safe space, well, then your customers, your clients are going to have to compete with that. And when you look at the Pew Research, they did a survey here. It said that for most U.S. workers, the real wages have barely budged in decades. Look, this is good times for America. For most Americans, this is good times. I mean, most people got jobs. There's more jobs available. Unemployment is very low. It's, I think, 3.9% as of July. And the nation's private sector employers have been adding jobs for 101 straight months. That's 19.5 million since the Great Recession. All right. And when you think about it, 1.5 million since the first of the year. But despite that labor market, the wage growth has lagged despite the economists' expectations. So here's where you're faced with as a real estate practitioner. You're faced with a rising cost of real estate for multiple reasons, right? One of the reasons, obviously, we just got through all the canceleds and expireds here. There wasn't too many brand new ones. There's going to be some new ones here in a few days. For sure, on the 30th, on the 30th end of the month, there's always quite a few. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to call through some of these for rent by owners right here. Let's call them. All right. Dial. All right. We have 42 for rent by owners. Oh, I'm sorry, 34 for rent by owners with 34 numbers. Okay, so let's call them. Whammo. And dial. There we go. So in your marketplace.
Hello. Please state your name after the tone and Google.
In your marketplace, just like mine, right? There are pockets, places, where the market has really gone up exponentially. And then there's other pockets and places, right, where there's opportunity. And this is what you need to look for, is the opportunity. And how do you find the opportunity? Okay, how do you find opportunities as a real estate investor, as a real estate broker, as a investor, wholesaler, whatever your position you play in the real estate investment game, how do you find these? Hello?
Yes, hello.
Oh, hi. I was calling about that rental you had online. Are you still trying to fill that vacancy?
I've accepted a deposit. I just got to make sure that it's yes.
Oh, okay. No problem. All right, cool. No problem. Hey, since I've got you anyway, do you know anybody else who's got an unwanted home that I could buy for cash?
An unwanted home.
Yeah. Do you know anybody who's got a house that they don't want to live in anymore, that they just rather sell? Do you know anybody who'd be open to that?
No, because that's what we do as well. So I appreciate it.
Okay, cool. Well, no, it looks like we're out here working together. All right. Well, God bless you out there. Okay. All right. Well, oh, God blessing me, I guess. All right. Blam. Boom. All right, here we go. So, yeah. So whatever position you play in the real estate game, how is this information affecting you and your client? Okay. So when you think about it, if most Americans' wages are not improving, yes, we could have a discussion about why that is. We could discuss about who's responsible. We could discuss policy or politics, but none of that would help you find your buyer or your seller. None of it. Okay. All the arguing, the Facebook drama, none of it's going to help us or help you or help me get a deal or money in our wallet. It's not going to happen. So what will happen? Well, I'm going to remind you something that Mike Ferry taught me, right?
Hey, reach Mike Ferry with Spectrum Labs. Please leave your name and phone number.
What you want to do is you want to grab a pen and you want to write this down. All right. Somebody's dialing in right now to give me a referral from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. God bless you. I appreciate you calling me. You're giving me a referral for Tucson. I appreciate you doing that, but unfortunately, I got to take this. I got a prospect right now. I can't take your call. I know that's what that person's. Hey, this is Carl. How you doing?
Hello.
Yeah, hi. My name's Carl. How are you?
All right.
I was calling about that rental you had listed online. Is it still available?
Not at this time.
Oh, okay.
We should be. Yeah. It'll be posted back up probably by the end of the week.
Oh, okay. Are you guys gonna be cleaning it up or?
All right. Yeah. That's what's happening right now, and a little bit of a reevaluation.
Okay, great. No worries. Well, listen, the reason why I'm calling again, my name's Carl Krenzel. I'm a broker who buys property here in town. I work with a lot of.
All right, hey, hold on. So you don't waste my time, I don't waste your time. If I'm looking to sell it, I'll seek you guys out. So if that's what this is about, I appreciate the call, but I got to go. I'm a very busy person, okay?
So
Thank you, Carl.
Do you know anybody else who'd like some cash? Because I want to give them some cash.
I do not.
All right, cool, brother. You have a great day. Thank
Okay.
you. Take care.
Take care, man.
Bye-bye. Right. Boom. So, how do you solve this? Well, I'm gonna tell you something that Mike Ferry taught me, and I'm gonna ask that you get a pen and write this down because this is uber important. Okay, you want to write this down. Remind yourself daily. Okay, remind yourself daily that the market has no effect on you. None. Now, I know you're going to find that hard to believe, and you're like, stop the car. Stop. Carl's not, you're ridiculous. What are you talking about? Of course the market has an effect on me, Carl. What? But I mean, the interest rates goes down, and the buyers come out, and all the good things happen, and the rain from the sky. And no, look, I get it. Okay. There are things in the market that will make it easier for you. But honestly, has there ever been a time, ever? And I want you to think this through, okay? Be honest. Has there ever been a time where it was really easy? I mean, is there ever been a time where this job was easy, where selling real estate was just a piece of cake and you had no problems? I mean, buyers came to your door and you could just write them up and it would be they would close and they would appraise every time and you'd never had an inspection contingency or a problem. Your sellers never argued with you over the price. You never had to do price reductions. I mean, is there ever been a time? Has there ever been a time in your X number of years that you've done real estate where it's been easy? The answer is no. The only time it's ever easy is when you're in real estate school and you don't have any listings yet. Okay, you don't have any buyers yet. You don't have any sellers yet. You don't have any flips yet. You don't have any clients or customers or past customers. You don't have any complaining people yet. That's why it's easy. But let's just be honest. When you're out here in the marketplace as a practitioner, Sarah?
Hi, this is Keith.
Hey,
Sorry I
Pete.
missed you, but please leave your name and telephone number.
When you're out here in the market as a practitioner, okay, it's a lot harder to make things happen. And if they raise the interest rates from 3.5 or 3.8, I guess is what it is now, 3.8 with 0.5% origination, I guess, or something along those lines. If they raise that up to 7% tomorrow, guess what? Real estate will still be sold. What if they double that and go to 14%? Guess what'll happen? People will still buy and sell real estate. What if they eliminate all the down payment assistance that your first-time home buyers have been working with? Guess what? People will still buy and sell real estate. The reason why you have so many...
You have reached the voicemail box of...
The reason why you have so many problems, okay, is because you haven't got the perspective yet. Okay, and it's not my fault. I mean, it's not your fault. I mean, I did the same thing. Good.
Hello. Please
I mean,
state
good
your
Lord.
name after the
When
tone,
I
and Google Voice will try to...
when I started out, I mean, I felt the same way. Oh, the naval base closed in Charleston. There's 6,000 homes on the market. Oh my God, this is a catastrophe. You know what? People still bought and sold real estate. The interest rate was 7.5%, 8%. Still bought and sold real estate. You know, I remember when the crash came, the planes hit into 9/11, then all the horrible things you can think of over the last 25 years that has happened, people still bought and sell real estate.
Forwarded to an automatic voice message system.
What stops people from buying and selling real estate is agents and investors. It's because our mindset thinks that, oh my God, this is insurmountable. This is never going to happen. You have to remind yourself daily that the market has no effect on you. If people are still buying and selling real estate in the marketplace, then you need to go out and find them. The problem is many times we're sitting here worrying and talking and crying and complaining about all the things that are going wrong instead of getting out there and doing the business and doing the things that we know that we need to do to take the action we need to take.
Hello?
Hey, Greg, Carl Krenzel, how you doing?
I'm sorry, what's your name?
I'm sorry, my name's Carl Krenzel. How are you?
I'm good. How about yourself?
Man, I'm better than I deserve. Listen, I've been trying to reach you for a couple days about your property on Alameda Street. Did you still rent that place out already or no?
I'm in the process.
Okay, no problem. Well, I was just calling you to see if perhaps you'd ever considered selling that property. Have you?
I have not.
Okay, no worries. Well, I'm a broker. Yeah, I'm a broker. I'm a broker
What do
here
you
in
think
town
I
who.
could get for it?
Well, that's a good question. I'm a broker here in town who buys property, and so I just wanted to reach out to you to see if perhaps you'd ever considered getting it on the market or just getting the most money for it. Have you ever had anybody take a look at it to kind of tell you what it would be worth on the open market?
No.
Huh. Okay. Is it vacant now?
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what I could do if you want. I mean, I got some time today. I've got an appointment at 10. I got to swing out and take a look at a house, but then I can swing by and take a look at your place real quick and then get back with you later this afternoon, kind of give you an idea of what it would be selling for in today's market. Would something like that help you?
Sure.
Okay. Do you want to meet me at the property today around 11, 11:30?
I'll be there. I'll be working on it.
Okay, cool. Well, then I'll just meet you there. Like I said, I got this appointment at 10, and then I'll just drive over to your place. I should be there probably around 11. Is that all right?
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay, cool. And again, my name's Carl. I never did catch your name.
Greg.
Greg, that's right. All right, Greg, appreciate your time, and I will look forward to talking to you at 11, okay?
Right on.
All right, brother. Have a great day. See ya. Bye-bye. Well. What do you know? Boom, shakalaka, boom. All right. So we set an appointment. Hallelujah. Look at that. All right. So we're going to, that's right. Greg, let me just write this down here. Write him in my schedule. All right. And I can meet his property at West. Okay. So anyway, well, there we go. For rent by owner, interested in potentially selling, we're going to go over to his house and take a quick look at it while it's vacant. He's taking a look at it, and then we're going to see what we can do about maybe getting that listed. Guys, that is exactly what we're looking for in a for rent by owner situation. We've been calling today. We called through all the sale by owners. All the canceled and expired listings. Didn't get anybody there. We contacted this fellow here. We've been calling through for rent by owners. And this is exactly what we needed to do. We got to set that appointment there. Let's see here. So let's go ahead and start closing up this call. But very briefly, I wanted to remind you again that the market has no effect on you. Despite what's going on in the market, despite the reason why prices are going up, despite what other things happen, if you prospect daily, okay, like you literally watched and heard right here. If you prospect every single day, okay, you will find people. You will find them. Okay, you could be terrible at this. Look, you watch me. I'm not that good at this, okay? And you can sit here and see me prospect every day, and even I find somebody, right? Even I find somebody every now and again. And what I'm telling you is this, that you're better than me. Okay. And you can go out and sound smoother on the phone. You can practice and be more polished than I am. You're younger probably than I am, better looking than I am, certainly. And you can go out there and make a decent living for yourself if you are able to keep your mindset screwed on straight. Right? Because there's going to come a time, and shout out to the people right now from this is June 24th, 2019. So shout out to you from a year from now, right? June 2020, and you're watching this video and you're looking at me or listening to the podcast. Well, shout out to you, because you're going to recognize that the market has changed. And everything that I'm telling you now is the stuff that you're going to need to know so you can be successful. And if you're listening now, okay, my advice to you is simply this: take heed, prospect every day while you can. Okay, because the market has no effect on you when you're prospecting. When you generate, you don't have to tolerate. And that is what you're trying to accomplish. And that also was a Mike Ferryism. That's something Mike Ferry taught me, and I'm very grateful to him. So thank you, everybody, for paying attention today. Again, I would recommend that you go ahead and listen into the podcast. If you're a realtor joining me for the first time, listen, I'm going to really recommend you go over to the Red Pill Investor podcast and listen. I've got this a book that I wrote called The Real Estate Investing for Realtors. Right, there's some things that you'll want to check out. You'll want to listen. You'll want to get that book. It's got over 100 pages. It's an ebook filled with links to podcasts and webinars. It's $25. Helps out with the podcast. Certainly helps out with what we're doing here, guys. I really appreciate you so much. I'm going to jump on this appointment, get out there in the field, and then I'm going to get back to the prospecting game a little bit later on this afternoon. So hit that notify button, because we're going to be prospecting later this afternoon as soon as I get done with these appointments. So until next time, have a powerful and productive sales day. Bye-bye.